Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kaleidoscope of Happiness. My name is Echo, and this is Selfcare Sundays, episode 23. I want to take you on a little journey, the rebirth of me. So, a lot of you know my story. A lot of you have been watching my transformation. Some of you know all of the backstory and grisly details of my trauma and my upbringing and the things that have happened in my adult life that have brought me to where I am today. Some of you have no idea, but these images and this story, I hope, will explain just a little bit so that you'll understand that it's never too late to change. It's never too late to start on a health journey. It's never too late to start on a self discovery journey. No matter how old you are, and no matter when you start, it's always super important that you take care of yourself, because really at the end of the day, that's all we really have to rely on is ourself. So I hope you'll enjoy this video. I know that I enjoyed making it for you. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so these pictures are probably at my heaviest. This was 2022, July, 4th of July weekend, right before Anais turned 1 year old. So over 3 years ago. I probably weighed 330, 335, something like that. I was very incapacitated. I could hardly breathe. I could hardly walk. I was really struggling with my diabetes. I had severe, severe high blood pressure and uncontrollable diabetes. Now, but a kaleidoscope is also what they call a group of butterflies. So on my channel, I'm trying to build a community of a group of broken people who can come together and heal and transform and support each other, a safe space, and that we can all come together with all of our brokenness and become something beautiful. So, I had some health conditions over the years which contributed to my weight gain. However, I started gaining weight as a child. I was probably 200 pounds by ninth grade, and I don't remember ever being under 200 pounds in my entire adult life. I was 34 years old when I had my daughter, and when I gave birth, I weighed 293 pounds. That was 28 years ago. So, if you know my story, you know I was raised as one of 7 children, and only 3 of us survived to enjoy our childhood and to become adults. And I'm the middle child of that group. And I was raised by a very narcissistic, cruel, sadistic mother. I blocked out a lot of my memories and the abuse. And it wasn't until after my divorce of a 29-year marriage and my world got turned upside down and I kind of fell apart that I even realized and started to see why I was the way I was. Also, at that time, I became disabled from an injury and ended up losing my job and spent several years in a pretty deep depression. I really had nothing to live for. And I was very down, and I was depressed, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then my granddaughter was born, and it was as if God said, get up, do something with yourself. You've got something to live for now. Here's this beautiful child, and it's your job as her grandmother to help raise her. And so I did. I got up and I started moving around and I started trying to get better. And I've been on every diet and I've tried to exercise in the past, and nothing ever clicked for me and nothing ever worked until my doctor said that I was maxed out on my diabetes medicine and that she didn't know, what my future looked like. And I got scared and I decided to have weight loss surgery. And so in July of 2024, I had gastric sleeve surgery. And since then, a little over, 16, 17 months, something like that. Anyway, I've lost 103 pounds. So I started out at 315. I now weigh 212. So I've lost 103 pounds. And I'm completely off my diabetic medicine, and I'm off high blood pressure medicine. I went from 19 prescription medications down to 5. And I started exercising. I started walking. I started doing workouts in a chair. And my transformation has been amazing, but not just the physical part of it. The physical part is great because I feel so much better and I want to do so much more. But the actual transforming of my mind and my spirit is what is really beautiful. So I had to go through the healing process, and I had to look at my childhood, and I had to deal with, the reasons that I didn't love myself, and why I thought that I was such a horrible person and all of that, which I have worked very hard to learn to accept myself as I am, flaws and all, to realize that I am made in God's image and God doesn't make junk and he doesn't make mistakes. And so I had to start looking at myself the way that God sees me, that I am strong and I am talented and I am smart. And believe it or not, I am beautiful, I am lovable, I am worthy of love. And I've learned all those things on this transformation. So I've been showing you images of the caterpillar going into the cocoon, coming out of the cocoon and drying its wings. And eventually that butterfly learns to fly with those wings. This is a picture of a kaleidoscope of butterflies. And it is so, so beautiful. So these images are of me and my granddaughter. I believe this picture was taken at Grandparents' Day at her pre-K. She's now 4. And this picture was taken right around my year mark, when I had lost like 99 pounds. And I'm pretty proud of that picture. And this image is of a beautiful young lady standing in a beautiful scene with butterflies. And my good friend Misha made me this image almost a year ago. And I was nowhere near that beautiful butterfly at that point. I was still almost in the caterpillar stage. But I met the people from a place called The Village. You know some of them. my good friend Body Illusion, my wonderful friend Nico from Sweden, and so many others. But they have helped me realize that it doesn't matter how old I am, it doesn't matter how sick I am, and it doesn't matter how broken I am. I am worthy, and they love me, brokenness and all, and they'll love you too. So I'm going to have the link to the village in this description. And I want each one of you to stop a moment and think about, what do you need to transform in your life? And is there anything I can do to help you along that journey? Let's talk. You can email me. I will be more than happy to sit down and have a conversation with you. Let's not go alone on this journey called life. Let's not do it alone. Let's do it in a kaleidoscope, and let's find that happiness. All of my friends over at the village are broken too, in one way or another, but they know that we're better together. And I use that hashtag now, better together. I also use hashtag NBR, nothing but ripples. And whether you know it or not, you're putting out ripples every time you interact with someone, whether it's over the internet or in person. Your experience that that person is having creates a ripple. So think about that. But when you see hashtag NBR, nothing but ripples, and better together means you don't have to go it alone. We are better together. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you're enjoying this Self-Care Sunday series. Every other Sunday at 3 p.m., Body Illusion joins me, and we have a lively discussion about self-care issues, self-care tips, ideas, mental health things, physical health things, just whatever, needs to be discussed at the moment. And then on the opposite Sundays, I put out videos like these. So I hope that you'll enjoy it, and just remember that God loves you, and so do I. Goodbye, my friends.